Class, welcome everyone. We are, believe it or not, in week number 2, and it happens really quick. And what I did was I had a PowerPoint. I forgot. You'll get to see me as we look through it. And let me go ahead and click on share because I want you to watch the class. I think it's really important. And some students, I think, say they're watching the class, but they not necessarily are. And so which one did it choose to you? Okay, perfect. So let me go ahead and share it. And we'll talk about that as well. But watch the class because it's important to at least watch the class because I give hints. I tell you things to be able to help you through your paper. And it's really your choice. It really is. And I want every student to do well. So my students that were with me before, they did have an advantage over students that never had me. Those that never had me, it's a rude awakening. I was nice and funny the very first class, and then you get your grade, and it's not what your expectations were. And so this is what happened this week. I had quite a few students. I would say at least a good third of the class started emailing me on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday telling me about these tragic instances. And if it's you, I'm not picking on any student individually. But and I'm not saying that students were not honest. I'm not saying that you were lying to me or in any way. I just take your word and then let me go on from there. But we had lots of tragedies. Children, your kids, relatives got injured or whatever the circumstances happened. And I don't know what to tell you. Is the probability of a good third of the class, it's a small class, only 22 students, having such incidents, and they all happen Friday, Saturday, and Sunday? I don't know. But it's a short term, and this is how I look at it, is there's nothing I can do to be able to help you. Is we're in this class, we're out of this class. You chose an express class, and we get in and we're out. I mean, imagine we only have about 4.5 weeks, and we'll pretty much soon be finished with this class. You got to dedicate yourself to it. Now, I had a student that, a few students actually texted me or emailed me and said that they were on vacation and they didn't have internet. I appreciate you telling me you're on vacation, but this is your responsibility to turn your work in. And I know you have obligations and so forth to your family, but you could have chose A, you could have chose B, whatever your personal circumstances. I had a student that said they couldn't get internet, and so I suggested to go to McDonald's. I said the area that they lived was too rural. Well, I looked it up. And yes, it was about a good 30 to 45 minutes away from where you live, but it's a vacation. So again, I'm not picking on any student. I want everyone to do well. Now, watching the video, believe it or not, I had students say, Mark, I didn't get the grade that I wanted. Is there a way for me to get extra credit? Now, I'm not saying that these students did not watch the video, but what I am saying is you didn't really watch it with the intent of really hearing it. I know I'm long-winded. I know I say goofy things and so forth, but you're really doing yourself a disservice by not watching the video, at least the good 20 minutes or the 30 minutes when I start the video, because I give you lots of hints. I give you exactly what it is that I'm looking for. It's sometimes when students will fill out those surveys, and you need to be honest when you fill them out, they'll say, Mark was not clear on the assignment. And I have other students that say, Mark spends too much time in the half of the class going over the assignment. Well, am I giving too much information on the assignment, or am I not giving enough information on the assignment? If you feel that you do not understand the assignment and you don't understand what it is I'm looking for, text me, call me, whatever. Let's get through this. And that in 5.5 weeks, because it happens faster than you can think, you'll be able to get the grade you want. You'll be in and out. You'll be done. You'll be successful and so forth. So my advice is to watch at least with intent. No one bothering you and so forth. Don't be making dinner. Don't be doing something else. Is you are watching, and I want to make sure that I'm recording class, and I am, is that you get the information that I'm looking for. And if you don't get that, I want you to call me or text me or whatever. So watch this class. So those students that text me and said, Mark, is there a way that I could get a better grade? I told you, everyone repeatedly, you can resubmit this paper. You can resubmit it as many times as you want without any penalty. You can resubmit it until you get 100% on this paper if you want to. So the answer is yes, I do not give extra credit, but you can resubmit your paper. So don't take it personally with the grades that you get. It's normal, especially the first time you've ever had me and the first time you're taking a class with me as well. Because as goofy as I am, I take grading very, very serious because I want to see that you understand the assignment. But more than understand it, I want to know that you can apply it in the workplace. I don't care if you're a finance major. I don't care if you're human resources. I don't care what you are going to be doing into your future. You could be able to say, yes, I understand marketing, but moreover, I know how to research it. And you can research it from a standpoint of whatever it is you do and whatever it is that you want to do. And so, first thing I want to do is I want you to go into the online library. And so if you go to your class, I updated some of the links. Let me move this over here because I don't need the video. Let me move this here. Anyway, I updated some of the links to put you exactly where it is that I want. And I have a video that shows you exactly what it is that I'm looking for. Your textbook is not a resource. Your textbook is internet marketing. It is not a fabrication. It's not a clothing company. It has nothing to do with your project. It tells you how to use marketing, but it does not get into the actual intricacy of the business that you are doing. So it is not a resource. It's too general to support your idea. Someone used my syllabus. Now that's never happened. I have no clue what on earth I say in my syllabus, and I created it that would support your paper, to be quite honest with you. A good paper in this class is your idea supported with facts. You can go to Google and you can get any crazy person on earth that wants to write whatever it is that they want to. But is it a fact? Or is it someone's opinion? So my crazy Uncle Joe wrote a paper that they hated Walmart. And if you use my crazy Uncle Joe's resource from Google, that's enough. But you can go to the Harvard Review, and there are professors and persons of research that will tell you how awful Walmart is. That's an A paper. I may disagree with it, but that doesn't matter. It's the fact that you were able to get research and it was something substantial to show that you are right in the case that you're presenting, and that's an A. I give lots of A's to students that I disagree with, and I give lots of F's for students that I agreed with them. I thought it was a great idea, but it wasn't what I was looking for. And then that's kind of how I come up with the grading. So it's all about your online research. So let's go ahead and let's go through it. But I don't want you to beat yourself up about it. I don't want you to get yourself down. Don't be upset with me because that will create a bias in your head and it'll affect your grade. Trust me on that. Just get it all cleared out. Call me, get the air out, and let's move forward. So let's go right over here. And if you go into book tools and sources right over here, and remember this is a new platform, so it's new for a lot of us. And if you go into resources there, it'll bring you right to our online library. And our online library also has tutoring platform, which you could be able to get help. Here's our actual library here, and this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for articles from our ProQuest database and EBSCO. Now, you can get books from here as well, but this is really what I'm looking for. I'm really looking for specific information from there. And if it's a university quality article, trust me, I can't click on your link and get to it, okay? No one can, because universities make money off these articles, and we subscribe to it as a university. We have an incredible library for you to be able to go. When I was in university, this is what we did. There were library hours, and I had to go to the library, and this was before the computers, and I had to go through some books. And so I found the topic that I was looking for. Then I went from this book and all the way down the hall. I mean, this was a huge library. I'd have to go find the reference book that this book referred to get that book. Once I got that book, I'd have to go to the card catalog to see if we have subscribed to that journal. And then once I found it, I had to go all the way up to the 5th floor. Now, students were not allowed to use the elevator, so we had to walk. So I walked all the way up to the 5th floor, and these stacks, I would have to pull this wheel, and these these big cabinet things of articles and so forth would move, and then I would have to find my article and pray to the library guards that the gods that the person before me that's doing probably the same subject didn't pull the article out. Then I would either take notes from it or I'd make a copy of it. I guess then it was 5 cents from the copy machine. Today, it's so easy. It's easier than you could ever imagine. But textbooks, my syllabus, my website is not substantial for as an academic research. This is. If you need help, go to our librarians. So I go over here right there to e-research and articles. I went over this maybe very quickly, but I figured that students, what you would do is you would go rewatch it or something. So what I suggest that you do in the library A to Z, go to all subjects. In all subjects, because we're in business, go ahead and click on business. If you need to watch this again, watch it again because I'm going over it again. Here's the BASCO. There is no article in here that will bring you to a website outside of the journal that anyone could get unless you subscribe to this. So I don't care where you go, but if I click on a link and it brings me this, honestly, that's how I find it, is that if I question the article, I click on your link, and if it brings me right there and it opens, no, it's not academic. Because these universities, they get paid for everyone that looks at their articles and so forth. If you need help, here's a chat. Talk to our librarians. They'll be more than happy to help you. Kate and Cassandra are very, very friendly, and they're here to help you as well. Now, ProQuest is my favorite. I'm probably loyal to it because it was the first computer automated system. Now, these were these CDs that I had to put in a computer, take this one out, put this one in, take this one out, put and so forth. And there was this big table when I was doing research, and it was probably one of the first systems. So if I go ahead and click on business, let's say ProQuest, and I go right over here, and I click on, I can go to basics, or I can also go to advanced. So if I go to advanced, what I'm really looking for are different works. I'm not looking for podcasts or blogs. You can look at books, that's fine, but I'm really looking at from the different databases. I'm looking for scholarly journals. I'm looking for trade journals, working papers, not really newspapers because they're not specific. Dissertations or thesis because that's coming from a fellow or another professor that's looking to get their PhD. And then however you want to research it. And then if I go click up here, textiles and marketing. Ooh, I had to spell it right. And then once I go ahead and click on here, and if I click on search, I'm going to go ahead and it will bring up and it'll even tell me how many articles there are. And shoot, my friend Maley, you didn't see a thing that I had on here, did you? You're supposed to be my ears. So let me go right over here and let me start all over. No, you did not. And so why didn't you say anything or interrupt me? So if I do this again, interrupt me not to do it one more time. So let's go right over here and I'm going to share content from my first screen. Okay, so let me start all over. Not a problem. But I found 70,000 articles. So the first thing I did was I went to our class. So in our class, I'm going to go right over here. And when I log in, the first thing it's going to show me, let me go to my courses here. And if I go right online, and I want to go to books and tools. You see that right there? Once I click on that, over here is a drop down. This is your resources. And I also have this in your student help. I have it repeated in the different sections on this site. So when this opens up right there, Maylee, can you see this now?
Nope, I'm still on the watch the class slide. That's the only screen I'm seeing.
Oh, crazy machine. Why isn't it wanting to work? Share here. Why isn't it sharing it? Oh, share. Okay. They change it. They keep changing it.
Okay, there you go.
Okay, you got it now. Okay, perfect. Yep. So one more time. Sorry about this disruptions. Maley, interrupt me. Just blog it. Otherwise, we'll be going over this and only this all day. And
I'm seeing your Outlook or your inbox.
Oh, you see my
screen.
Inbox now. So, oh, this is not helping me, is it? This crazy machine. See, this is what I'm dealing with all day. So, oh, perfect. Screen number one. Let's go ahead and click on share. And perfect. Do you see what I'm supposed to be looking at right there?
Okay, I'm at the courses screen now.
Excellent. Perfect. So we're going to go right in my course. So we're back here. Thanks, Marilee. I appreciate you being here. Could you imagine me doing this all by myself and then I have to reteach the whole thing? But anyway, let's go right over here to books and tools. And once I click on here, you're going to see resources. And this is what I'm looking for. And again, I repeat this link in the different sections of your paper. And so you're going to see this. And so here's your tutoring platform. Get help if you need it. You pay for it, use it. APA basics. Some of you need this help. Some of you need to go to APA Advanced because at this level, because you're at third level now, you're not in beginning level, you're at higher level learning, and you have to kind of already have expected to learn this already. And so we'll get into APA next. So here's your online library, and I really like the e-resources and your articles and your data articles. So if I go ahead and click here, next we have all of our databases, and we're going to change the subject. And I expect you to maybe have to watch this section over and over again just to learn it. So if I go ahead and click on business, my two favorite is EBCO and ProQuest. Remember I said ProQuest is my favorite. So if I go ahead and click on my ProQuest, these are your articles in your journals. So we have basic and we have advanced. When I'm doing research and I'm looking for academic resources, I'm going to scroll further down and I want to look at scholarly journals. That's really an academic source. Trade journals, working papers, different reports. I can get other sources, dissertations and theses. These are from other college professors, conference papers and proceedings. And I don't use magazines or newspapers because they're general. They could be academic, but that's part of the problem that I want you to raise your understanding. And so we put in textiles and let's make it online marketing. Online marketing. And if I go ahead and I click on search, you're going to see that it's searching all these different resources, and there's 41,443 results. Do you not think that you can find me at least 2 articles? Do you think that you can find me more articles? Remember, putting in a statement, you need to support it. So some people said, I want to use, in your papers, you want to use tablets, you want to use telephones, and you want to use telephones, tablets, and laptops or PCs. And that was it. Why? Why do you think and you need to go after that market? Maybe you need to break it down. Maybe you need to identify who the customers are. And this is how they buy. They buy from this type technology. Even our online platform that we use now is a hybrid system that it automatically adjusts to a PC, a tablet, to a telephone. And you could actually take this whole class on your cell phone now because they've changed how active and interacts with each other. But here, there's a whole bunch of articles. You saying that people use tablets. That's not true. I know a lot of people who've never had a tablet. Not everyone has a smartphone. I've just started recently using more of my smartphone because I was actually teaching more classes in foreign countries. And so it kind of pushed me to have to use it that way. Now, when I'm on the road and I'm traveling, sometimes I'm forced to teach the class from my car. And so technology has made this easier for me to be able to use it. And so 41,443 results. No one can tell me that they can't find anything in here. Now use newer articles. It is 2021. Don't give me an article from 2012 because do you think technology has not changed since then? And I do look at those dates because it could be you're just finding articles and throwing them in there. And some students do that. Some students will meet the requirement by just throwing in articles, and I know you're not using them. Do what you want, but it reflects in your grade. Okay, because I'm looking for support. I'm looking for support as we go through that. So again, how I did this is from our class, and of course it disappeared. So if I go into the class, let's go right over here. And I want to go into the class that we are learning in now. And once I go into the class, I could either look through all these different subsections of our class because I put them in the course content, I put them in the help section, or I can easily go right over here to books and tools. From books and tools, I'm going to go over to our resources here. Once I get into the resources, this is going to open up and here's your tutoring, but I'm going to go into e-resources and articles. It couldn't be any easier. And then I change the database to business. Once I'm in business, my favorite is ProQuest, but use whatever makes you happy. I don't care. But if I can click on your link and it brings me to your article, I know it's not academic because the professor or the instructor, whomever created it, is not getting paid. And trust me, these universities, they covenant all of it. And then go ahead, type it all in. I'll sometimes make adjustments for which databases that I want to use. I'm not really strict when it comes to that, but I'll be looking at some of your articles. And so go ahead and change it however it is you want, and then go ahead and search it. Now, while we're looking here, what I want to do is I want to talk a little bit about APA. APA is your responsibility to know it. By this level, you should know how to do it. APA is either right or it is wrong. I did not invent APA, so don't get mad at me because these are the rules and the school selected it. Don't fight it. So here is your APA guide. So if I click right over here, there's videos, we have templates, we have all kinds of things to be able to help you. I have videos. So if you went into your class, I have videos that will help you out as well. So here, if I scroll further down, it's the announcement section. You could be able to watch it. Internal citation. Every time you put a quote, every time you put a paraphrase, meaning repeat what it is you read and you rephrase it, you have to cite it. Author's last name, the date, and the page number that it comes from. If you don't, it's called plagiarism, and that's a failing grade. So there's APA. I have videos on it. Better yet, Word does it for you automatically. So if I go into Word and it opens up, you could see I could do all my citations opening up on this window. I'll bring it over here once it's done. But it templates it for you. When I wrote a paper, I would have one paper with all my resources. And then on the next paper, I'd write my paper. And then all the resources I use, I would put in my reference page. But you could see right over when I bring over a blank sheet, I can do my APA right from here. So, of course, it's moving slow, but once it opens up here on your Word, and everyone has Word, I hope everyone knows you get Microsoft for free. So, you get Microsoft Office from free from the university. Download it and use it. And where did my Word go? It just disappeared. Here it is. So, it's time to bring this over. So, once it's here, if I go over to what's called the reference section, there's APA. If you didn't want to do APA, there's MLA. MLA is what we used years ago when I was more in high school. MLA still exists. It's just kind of the business department as a institution changed it to APA. And there's footnote citation, which we haven't used since I was maybe in elementary school. So you insert a citation by clicking here, and we add a new source. So is it an electronic source? Is it an article from periodical? Is it a website? Is it a document? And once you choose that, it's going to change these fields. Now, the fields that have asterisks are required. So once I pick out whatever type of article it is, I start filling this out. Even this, I can type in and it puts in their last name, the first name, it does it all for me. Once I go ahead and I click OK, and I did all of my citation, after that, on the very last page, I can be able to insert an internal citation, and I can also insert my bibliography, and it does it for me all automatically, my reference page. And it couldn't be any easier. So that's from Word. Now, if you want to do it manually or you're not understanding this very well, one of my favorite sites, I used to like the Citation Machine, but the Citation Machine now only allows you to have two for free. So there's something called Scribble, and we are a member of Scribble at the university as well, citations. So if I go into Scribble, it actually does it for you, APA citation generator, and it's free. It does both the in-text citation and it also does the actual article. So if I wanted, let's say a website. So the title of it is okay. I can type it in there, and if they can find it, they'll automatically put it in and fill it out. So markmaster.com. I'm making this up. So I could either look it up or I say marketing is great. The URL www.markmaster.com. The author's initials, it would be MB or just M for my first name is Mark. My last name happens to be Master. Do what makes you happy. And if I need more, it could be if it's unknown, it also does that for you automatically. So the date of this article happens to be the 12th of March, 2021. And I accessed it, and they actually changed APA. You don't have to do the access date anymore, but you can see that there. And marketing today. So if I go ahead and click on cite source, you're going to see there's the citation. It does it for me completely automatically. And if I want to do the in-text citation, there it is. See my last name, and there's the page number. And so you can see that it automatically does all of it for you. There's less thinking for you to have to do. There's no excuse for you to get it wrong. Okay. You can even export it to Word if you want to now. So that's an upgrade. Now, if it's unknown, let's go right over here and you don't know who the author is. And I go ahead and click on cite. It removed everything. Marketing is great. www. I spelled my name wrong. .com. The author is unknown. Oh, let's say publication date. Hey, if the publication date is unknown, 12th March 2021, date access today, and website marketing today. If I go ahead and click on cite, it automatically does it for you. See, it puts in 3 words of the actual title. And so it automatically does the citation for you. It makes it so much easier. So if you needed the citation, it does it for you. Copy and paste it. Actually, just click on it, copy it, go to your Word document and paste it. APA is either right or it's wrong. Okay, there's no negotiating when it comes to APA. I want 2 journal sources, academic resources. I showed you how to do it. I showed you how to do APA through the Scribber. If you want to learn how to do it another way, that's perfectly fine. Watch those videos. So now you could be able to do both. If you need help with it, call me. Let's get an A on these assignments. If you need to rewrite your paper, for those that asked me if there's ways for you to improve your grade, yes, there is. And you could be able to up your grade by fixing what I suggested that you do. I have to hand grade these every single time. So I had to do it all in Excel. I type in some notes of what I think you need help in, and then I copy and paste the image and put it into the grade book. So I do that for you to be able to help you get a better grade. Turn it in. Instead of writing me, telling me every day how something tragic is happening in your life, just turn it in and then resubmit your paper for grading, and I'll give you the better grade. No penalties. Okay. So that covers APA. That also covers your references. That also covers your how to do APA as well in research. So let's go on to assignment number 1, okay? Because some students had some problems with it. Now, here's an example of a student. I took their names out, and if you see your PowerPoint presentation, it wasn't bad. I'm not picking on you. Actually, I kind of liked it. And so I wanted to show it to other students. So if you're offended that I did that, I'm very, very sorry in advance, but I appreciate that you're helping other students. And you can email me and I'll never use yours again. So let's go right over here. I took the student's name out of it. I'm not picking on this particular student. Now, this is a great assignment. It really is, to do a PowerPoint presentation. The problem is our platform doesn't easily take a PowerPoint and upload it. It turns everything into Adobe, and I've asked support if they can turn that off so that you can turn it in as a PowerPoint so I can see your footer notes. So if I go over here and I'm going to put this in the primary, if you turned your PowerPoint presentation in without any footer notes, this is what I got. And so this student didn't do it this way, but this is the example that I'm choosing to use. So there's the cover page. Why is this not advancing? There, I got this. Geographic and time zone. All customers anywhere can keep on online access, geography, the cost, and so forth. It's not bad. It's good, but it doesn't say anything. Media, Facebook, Instagram. And then there's the end and so forth. When I go through your paper, the first thing I do is I skip the title, page 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then if you have more, great. If you have benefits, I do not count that as a slide. It's just filler to me. Okay. So looking at this, does it look different than when I open up your PowerPoint and I open up your footnotes? I'm looking for this because this is giving me a context of what it is you're doing. So there are some notes, and here's your notes over here, and it's a little bit more thorough. And that's how I'm able to grade your paper. And so you see a comparison by just turning your PowerPoint in Adobe. I can't see it. There's nothing for me to really grade. And so I gave you specific instruction. I even showed you how to do it step by step. One way, and I showed you in the video last week, is hit File, hit Print. When you hit Print, go ahead and change this to a PDF. But most importantly, I need to see your notes. I need to see each note on your page. And then when you save this as a PDF, you can go ahead and upload that PDF to me and I can be able to grade it. And that's perfectly fine. Otherwise, email me your PowerPoint presentation. It's fine if you want to upload the other because it's going to turn to Adobe. I won't have it. And then let me go ahead and read it. Okay, here's another one. And so this is how it comes into me as it flattens it out into an Adobe document. And again, this was a really good presentation. I liked it, but you can see it and it's really colorful, but it really doesn't say anything. Reduce costs and long-term exposure. Okay, reduce costs. It's good. And when the student actually, and then here, I consider that a title page. It doesn't mean anything to me. It's just filler to me. So I won't even count that as a page. But the student did perfectly fine there, sent text messages, mobile apps, convenient. But when the student resubmitted with their footer notes, it covered these points. It gave me facts. It supported the facts. And it gave me access to where they did their research. Okay, because I'm looking for your idea that's substantiated from a professor, someone that has experience in this, not your textbook, because Glenn, whatever, whoever wrote the book, did not do research specifically to textiles. He may have talked about online marketing, but that's where it ends. So I'm looking for it in context of those that actually did research relevant to the subject. So here's another one that this was turned in, and this was a pretty good grade. I don't think it was an A paper, but this is, I had to actually look to see what actually I took off for it. So if I go right over here, I'll scroll further down, and a lot of students use the same ones. Why should you use integrated marketing online? You can see here's research, but it doesn't really tell me anything. It's not supported to connect your younger clientele who are using internet as a means of using business. Well, are you using a business to business strategy? Because business to business, what does it matter with younger people? It's not necessarily sport. Are you younger persons that are in business? Because I think with this assignment, it wasn't necessarily, it's not business to consumer, and I may be wrong. Let me go into your assignment. But I didn't take points off for that one. I was looking for your support. Why do you think younger people are connected through the internet? Just because? Because there's lots of clothing companies that are online, but you don't even know that they're there. They just have an online presence. So here with online presence assignment number 1, let me go look in the assignment, is, imagine a textile doing business on a business to business sales. So younger people is quite irrelevant because younger and old people, it doesn't matter. It's not age specific. I mean, unless you're looking only for young business persons at corporations, I think you're eliminating a huge market, but you have to support it here. Maybe you can support it as millennials or Generation X, as their Generation X is now in management, but the millennials are moving forward. They're your decision makers. Give me support, give me research to support that. Gaining a website traffic through the search engine. Well, are people going to be typing in textiles? Is that what they do? There's no research to support it. Okay. And that's what I'm really looking for. It's just a statement, but support it. I bet you are right, but you have to give it. I really like the slide. But again, simply put, traditional marketing is what we used to see before, and the internet's made it into everyone's pocket. While traditional marketing is still very much used in today's industries, digital marketing optimize opportunity for profit. It doesn't really say very much. And is it necessarily true? But business to business is lagging behind business to consumer. Well, that may be also different because we had COVID. I don't know. There's no research to support your thought. It's a good thought, but nothing supported. Device a client most uses is very important to remember when wanting to market to an individual. Well, this is business to business, but your gatekeepers are individuals. You need to keep that in mind. Streaming videos or conference calls can be challenging on a smartphone. Why? But a tablet or computer, video conferencing is a breeze. Well, do you want to talk to my mother and put her on a video conference? And she's still working. And if she's your customer, you're wrong. Get me some research. Okay. Long, lengthy, bulky ads don't do well if the client is only using their cell phone either. Also, if the client does not have access to Wi-Fi, they may not be able to see as quickly as a Wi-Fi user. Well, that's good, but you don't know the breakdown of your customers. Are they using Wi-Fi or not? And if your customers are in the city, there's Wi-Fi throughout all of Orlando. We have Orlando and all of the different companies. Yeah, there's 4G, there's 5G. There, you can go with AT&T. You can go through our local cable company, and you get free right off from the street. So I want research. I want facts. Okay, you may be right, and I may be wrong. Hey, I'll give you an extra A if you prove me wrong. But it's not about beating anyone. It's not about me being right and you being wrong or right. It doesn't matter. I just want your idea supported with facts. Get me research. Someone wrote their paper and they just gave me a whole bunch of facts, but nothing relevant to the subject. That's enough, because they just gave me how many consumers are on Twitter and Facebook and on other sources. It's not relevant to what it is you're looking for. So I want you to revisit the assignment. 2 credible resources. If you don't know how to upload it, here is instructions on submitting the PowerPoint for grading. And so if you go ahead and download it, I showed you exactly how to do it. 2 different methods for you to be able to do use your assignment. Okay. So if I go up here to the document, you can see it right here. It shows you exactly how to upload the assignment. And we have 2 of these. You're going to have 1 more after this one. It's a great assignment. It's the platform is really hard to navigate with it. Hey, and you're not writing a whole bunch of pages. You are writing stuff, and it'll help you be able with your careers, whatever it is that you do. So let's go on to week number 2. Week number 2 is on online media and their different channels. So we have an overview and different activities. So once I open this, here is, by the end of this module, you should be able to identify online multi-marketing channels, explore the effectiveness on online media marketing channels, and develop the content for online media. This week should take you 20 hours of your time, of your life, from your work, from your family. You chose to take a 5.5 week course. It's a lot of material. You chose to go to a accredited university. You wanted your diplomas to mean something after you graduate, and it's legal for you to be able to transfer whatever you want to do with your life. And so we have to stick by the guidelines for the accrediting board. Otherwise, your diploma doesn't mean very much. It's not worth the paper that it's on. And so you have different lessons. You have your different modules. They are here. So in your discussions, everyone seems to be doing great in the discussions. I had 1 or 2 students that did not, they only posted 1 time. It has to be 2 substantial posts. For the most part, everyone is great in there. So I really have nothing to complain about there. So I'm really proud of you. when it comes to that assignment. And once I open up here, in this week, include your URL for the website, identify that you feel is badly done concerning the content of the page. Discuss how the content would potentially hurt the website and its traffic. Briefly describe how to improve the content in your post. I'm really interested in how you suggest it improve it. I want you to look at it from different points of view as well. I want you to look at it, is the target market? Is it not for you as a customer? Is it targeted for you, but maybe not for me? It's okay. Maybe for other students. I don't know. It doesn't matter. So, assignment number 2, this is your actually written assignment. And this is where students have a lot of problems. 2 pages, 2 whole pages, not a page and a half, not a page and 99% of the second page. It's a 0, and I'll make you rewrite it. Okay, don't change your margins. Don't increase your font. I do not need bigger font. I do not need font 18. I'm not that old. I have glasses. You can see I can always zoom in. So font 12, normal margins, 2 whole pages. If you don't know what 2 pages look like, make it 3. I'm not looking for these tiny little paragraphs and you have gaps. I know what you're doing. You're just wasting space, okay, to get 2 pages. I'll give you a 0 and you get to rewrite it. It's up to you. But remember, I will always accept your paper and you can always resubmit it for a better grade. I was a student myself, trust me. I didn't necessarily pull things like that, but I hear it. A lot of students will say things or your excuses. We've heard them all. If a professor's been teaching, I've been teaching for over 10 years. I've heard everything. Nothing surprises me, from organ transplants, from aliens coming to visit them. So I've heard everything. There's nothing you can say that I haven't heard. And this is how I look at things. I'm never going to second guess you. I will never assume that you're lying, but there's nothing I can do about your situation. The class is too fast. We're in and out so quickly that I hear what you say. You got to turn in your work. Okay. So for assignment number 2, you are currently starting to develop content for a company's website. This website is up to date in terms of the pricing and the product it is offering, but there's no additional information about the company, its history, its brand, or its philanthropic work. That's donations and how it social implications, how it helps the community. The company has a long history of donating to children's organizations nationwide to help with clothing needs, and this is not mentioned anywhere on their website. There is no use of social media. PPC, look that up, and SEO. PPC is point and click, and search optimization for conversion rate optimizations. You want to look those up. So for the assignment, this is what you want to complete. It's an executive summary for the board of directors, and that recommends at least 2 online marketing methods. There is the pay per click ads. That's the PPC. My cat's here. So my cat, he likes, crazy cat. Online public relations, that's PR. Viral content display ads. That would be useful in the beginning. Also, there may be a suggestion for new content in your summary. 2 whole pages, at least 2 online marketing methods, and explain who these methods would reach. So who is your customer? I want to know, are their age, who their company, how are you tied together? And a discussion on the responsibility of managing these marketing methods, and detailed of what is called fresh content to be created. At least 2 credible sources, meaning from the online library and APA format. So the grading rubric, I have that here. So go ahead and download that to see how it is that I'm going to grade it. So if I go ahead and I open that up here, we're going to look at the assignment. And once it pops open, we'll see how I'm looking at this assignment. So from here, let me go ahead and open that up. So you can see here's the assignment. I just really repeat itself, but here, 20 points go to 2 marketing online methods. 25 points explains who's the method that you want to reach, who's your target market. 20 points is the discussion on the responsibility of managing these marketing methods. And 25 points go to a fresh idea. I really like to see your fresh idea. And remember, you're using the company that you used the previous week. APA and references, that's 10 points. So I think that you're better prepared. Again, if you have any questions or concern, make sure you reach out and you talk to me about that. And so we could be able to do that. So let me go right over here and let's get right into your assignment. I'm going to share that screen over there. So let me see when this pops open. Screen number 2. And let's go ahead and let us get started. So I think that you're all better prepared. You'll be able to do fine. So week number 2, we already talked about what your expectations are. And so trust, utility, optimism, and online marketing. 2 most important part is the utility. Is it better price? Is it more convenient? Is there trusted perception or credibility of having a website? Do you do business with people that don't have websites? Features of internet marketing versus traditional. It can be personalized. It can be, people can participate peer-to-peer, communal through those internet sources, those blogs. But remember, this is a textile business to business company. So does it apply? Websites, traditional online marketing, such as search engine. Can you believe search engine, display, email, and affiliates are considered old-fashioned versus social marketing? Social marketing has not been proven to lead to sales. They're great reminder ads, but you need to find me the research. Mobile marketing is new, so it's more into an infant style. So apps, offline marketing, such as the oldest traditional. Website, just creating brand identity and customer expectations, anchoring that brand. So online marketing and advertising. Online advertising displays search, mobile messages. Who's the advantages? The advantage are persons of years of 18 to 34. So if you're business to business, what happens if your customer is older than 34? They're old, 35 and older. How are you going to reach them? Get me that research. Ad targeting individuals, price discrimination. You can be able to find competitively who's less expensive. Search engines, display ads, viral marketing. Search engines, pay-per-click search ads. Search ads, people can be able to narrow down exactly what it is that they're looking for through key terms. What's going to differentiate you from the rest? What's going to get you higher through SEO, search engine optimization? Google search. Are you going to pay for the ad? Are you going to pay for your name or sponsor your name to be up there? What I really want to go to is let's go here. I want to get into different marketing and okay, how to break this down. So let me go here. So I want us to look at this in terms of a model. So the 8 key elements of the business model's value proposition. So simply put, a business model is a plan for making money. Like a model, a business has several components, and we describe in this section. Value proposition, and that's the first. Why should we get this customer to buy? How is it going to be supported to get a person to want to go to your website and be able to make transaction? The revenue model is the major type of revenue, and this is in your paper. How you're going to advertising revenue, the subscription revenue, transaction fees, how are you going to get your money back? And there's market opportunity. Is the area of actual or potential commercial value? Is it realistic? Can you be able to get consumers? Do people already buy textiles, that's for your paper, through the internet? It's influenced. How is it influenced? How many competitors are there? Do you even know? Did you look that up? What makes you different from everyone else? What gives you the advantage over others? Marketing strategies. You learn this in principles of marketing. How do you plan to promote your product or services to attract your target? What makes you different? How do you know your specific customer is going to you? Remember, it's business to business. Keep that in mind. What types of organizational structures within the firm are necessary to carry out your plan? Typically divided into functional departments. Remember, that's the last part of your paper. Who will be managing these departments, or who will be managing the success and the execution of your marketing? Who's going to be the team? Who can make the business model work? Who gives credibility to the investors? Now, that's not so important for your paper, but I want to see that you have a team and a contingency plan to make sure that your plan is executed with success. Features of the foundation of e-commerce: communication tool, search engine. Is it downloadable? So normal communication tools, will you do email, direct email, messaging applications, online messaging board, or a voice over the internet, video conferencing? So I want you to check in, is video conferencing, is it really that easy? It may be easy for you because you're a young person, but get my mother on there, it takes forever. And I was actually trying to develop a platform that would be easier for those that are older. And if you think about it, baby boomers are the largest target market, and you have doctors that are baby boomers themselves, and they don't know how to use it either. So identifying a web page that matches queries based on one or more techniques, serving tools and advertising, and there's 3 major providers. So this is how Google works. An image shows how Google works in terms of indexing and web and processing the search. So you have a Google bot that forms a software and crawls through the internet. And believe it or not, it's indexed. That's where they call the dark web versus the Google web, is it's indexed that you can be able to find it easily. And Google has already indexed an estimated 30 trillion pages. Once the search happens, it brings it back. But companies are saying that Google is controlling the market, because if Google hasn't indexed, Google won't find it. And there's many other sources. There's many things out there that you can be able to find. I'm not talking about the dark web, the criminal web, but what I'm talking about is that if Google doesn't recognize you, it's not fair. And Google says who's number one and who's not. So Web 2 features, this happened quite a while ago, allowing an ability to be able to stream video faster, be able to send information quicker so that people can be able to access it even smoother. So we have hardware and software platforms you could be able to see through your class. I don't need to necessarily go any of those. So where do I want to go to? And let's go ahead and wrap the class up, and then we'll be going ahead and we're going to call this a day. So the word for today's magic day is called online channels. If you are now just watching the class, because some students do that just to see the word, I strongly advise you to watch this class. It will help you do the research. It'll help you be able to submit your papers. And trust me, I am on your side. It's easier for me to grade an A paper than it is for you to email me and you're upset. And of course, it's my fault that you're upset and you're unhappy and you want to get the best grade. Trust me, I'm on your side throughout this entire 5.5 weeks. It's already 4.5 weeks. After tomorrow, it's going to be 3, and then we're done. And some of you will never see me again. Some of you are just stuck. But I want to see you in the threads. I'm excited that everyone's here. I hope this helps you. If it doesn't, call me, text me. You will do fine. Thank you so much, Miley, for, I'm sorry, my friend's called Miley. Let me turn off the share. Stop sharing. And my friend, Miley, thank you for coming to class. I appreciate you being here. And did you want me to turn off the recording if you had any questions for me?
Nope, I'm okay. Thank you so much.
Sounds perfect. Have a great week. I look forward to grading your paper at the end of the week. And be safe, everyone. And I'll see you.
Thank you.
Thank you.